Welcome to the Mirex Media Podcast. You know, we love to unpack really powerful ideas, the kind that can transform the way you see yourself in the world.
That's right.
And today, we're going to be diving into a book called Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men.
Oh, yeah.
By Dr. Myles Munroe.
This is a good one.
Now, this book,
It is.
it really challenges
Yes, it does.
those conventional notions of masculinity, and it offers like a really profound spiritual perspective
Yes.
on what it truly means to be human.
I think Dr. Munroe really goes beyond the surface of being a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like he's urging us to tap into a spiritual essence that unites us all.
Yes. And he starts by making this really intriguing distinction
Oh, yeah.
between man and male.
Absolutely.
So it's not just about biology or physical attributes,
No.
right? There's something much deeper going on.
It's definitely not just about the physical form,
Yeah.
the male aspect.
Yeah.
Dr. Munroe argues that man represents a spiritual essence, a spark of the divine that resides within both males and females.
So there's a piece of man
Yes.
in every woman.
Yes.
Wow. That challenges so many assumptions about gender roles and identity.
It really does. It reframes the whole conversation.
What are the implications of this idea?
Well, for one, it completely changes how we view our relationship with God.
Okay.
See, Dr. Munroe believes that mankind was created in God's image,
Okay.
not just physically, but spiritual.
Uh-huh.
We inherit God's eternal nature
Okay.
and capacity for love, creativity, purpose.
So it's more than just like
Yeah.
a father-child relationship. It's like we're part of something much bigger,
Exact.
something almost cosmic.
It is cosmic. You know, he uses this incredible analogy in the book.
Well,
He
right.
talks about the universe being a nursery
Okay.
that was meticulously prepared by God for the arrival of mankind,
Wow.
his beloved children.
Oh.
It emphasizes the intentionality and love behind our creation.
It paints this picture of a God who is eagerly anticipating
Yes.
our arrival,
Uh-huh.
who has this specific plan and purpose for each of us.
Absolutely.
It makes you feel valued and seen
Yes.
and known on such a deep level.
And that sense of worth
Yeah.
is further emphasized by the distinction Dr. Munroe makes between created
Yeah.
and made.
Okay, so what's the difference?
He says that God created man from nothing,
Okay.
a direct emanation of his divine power.
Hmm.
But he made male and female
Yeah.
from existing materials,
Okay.
crafting our physical forms with specific intentions.
I see. So the spirit man,
Yes.
that core essence,
Exactly.
is like a direct imprint of God's being,
That's it.
while our physical forms,
Yes.
whether male or female,
Right.
they're more like vessels
Yes.
designed to house and express that spirit in the world.
You got it.
It's like we have a soul and a body working together.
Yes. And this understanding is crucial because it underscores that both males and females
Yeah.
carry that same divine spark, that same potential for greatness.
This is a lot to take in,
I know, right?
but it's incredibly liberating.
It is. It breaks down so many limiting beliefs
Yeah.
about what it means to be a man or a woman.
And this leads us to
Yes.
what I find truly fascinating in Dr. Munroe's work,
Let's hear it.
the 7 purposes of mankind.
The divine mandates.
He calls them divine mandates.
Yes.
And they sound anything but ordinary.
I know. They're like a blueprint for living a fulfilling life, for
Yeah.
aligning ourselves with God's plan.
And these apply to everyone.
To everyone,
Hmm.
regardless of gender.
This is exciting.
All right.
Let's hear purpose number 1.
All right. So it all starts with offspring.
Offspring.
Yes. We are first and foremost God's children.
Hmm.
Our primary purpose is to receive his love experience, his grace,
Okay.
and cultivate that intimate father-child connection.
It makes sense to start with that foundational relationship.
Yes.
It's like building a house.
Huh?
You need a solid foundation before you can do anything else.
Absolutely.
So we're offspring.
We are.
What comes next?
Fellowship.
Fellowship.
Yeah. It builds upon that foundation of being God's children.
Okay.
It's about nurturing a close personal relationship with God
Hmm.
through prayer meditation
Hmm.
and simply being present with him.
So we're staying connected to the source of our being,
Yes.
constantly receiving guidance and strength.
You got it.
So we're offspring, we're in fellowship.
Yes.
What's the next step in this journey?
Purpose number 3 is reflection.
Reflection.
Yeah, this is where we take what we've received from God,
Okay.
his love, wisdom, and character,
Uh-huh.
and we manifest it in the world. We become
Mhm.
like beacons radiating his goodness
I see.
in our thoughts, words, actions.
Like little mirrors.
Yes.
Reflecting the divine light back into the world.
Exactly. Dr. Munroe actually calls us
What's that?
little gods.
Little gods.
It might sound a bit audacious at first,
Yeah.
but it speaks to our inherent potential to express God's qualities in our own unique ways.
That's a bold statement.
It is.
But if we're truly created in God's image,
Yes.
it makes sense that we would carry some of those divine attributes within us.
Right. It's not about replacing God,
Right.
but partnering with him.
Yeah, it's about recognizing the divine spark within us
Yes.
and using it to make a positive impact on the world.
That brings us to purpose number 4.
Okay, let's hear it.
Dominion.
Ah, dominion.
Yeah.
This is where things get interesting.
It is.
We often hear about humanity's dominion over the earth,
Yes.
but it's so often interpreted in a way that leads to exploitation and control.
Right. So how does Dr. Munroe approach this concept?
Yeah, how does he?
He emphasizes responsible stewardship.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about domination or control.
Okay,
It's about caring for the planet and all its inhabitants.
I see.
Using our God-given abilities to cultivate and protect.
Right.
To create a world that flourishes.
So it's like we've been entrusted
Yeah.
with this precious inheritance.
Yes.
We're not just owners.
Yeah.
We're caretakers,
We are.
guardians of something much bigger than ourselves.
That's the idea.
And that responsibility is shared by both males and females.
Absolutely.
Right.
Right. The spiritual mandate of dominion was given to the man within,
Okay,
not the physical form.
I see.
It's a collaborative effort, a partnership between genders, each bringing their unique strengths to the table.
This is such a refreshing perspective on dominion.
It is. It shifts the focus from power over others
Yeah,
to power with others,
right.
working together for the good of all.
And it's not just about maintaining what's already here.
Right.
There's also this element of expansion.
You're right. Purpose number 5 is all about expanding God's influence in the world.
Okay, so we're expanding.
We are. It's
Right.
like we're all part of this massive family business,
Oh, my business.
working together to spread love, compassion, positive change.
Leaving the world a little bit better than we found it.
Exactly.
And like any good business, we need resources to succeed.
We do.
We need support, guidance,
Yep.
the means to carry out our mission.
So true. Does Dr. Munroe address that
I
aspect?
hope so.
He does. Purpose number 6 is provision.
Provision.
Yes. Dr. Munroe reminds us that God is a loving father
Yeah.
who provides for all our needs, both personal and those related to the family business.
I like that.
He equips us with everything we need to fulfill our purpose.
So it's about trusting that we're supported,
Yes.
that we're not alone in this journey.
You are not.
It's about having faith and taking action,
Yes.
knowing that God is with us every step of the way.
Every step of the way.
So what's the final piece of this puzzle?
Purpose number 7,
What is it?
judgment.
Judgment. That sounds a bit intimidating.
I know, right? But it's actually about aligning our actions with God's will and using our discernment to create a more just and balanced world.
So it's not about condemning others
Yeah.
or imposing our beliefs.
No, not at all.
It's about seeking truth,
Yes.
understanding,
Yes.
and making wise choices that reflect God's love and justice.
You got it.
Wow. These 7 purposes are quite a framework
They are.
for understanding our potential.
It's a lot to process, but it is incredibly inspiring.
It makes you want to step up and do something meaningful in your life.
That's the power of Dr. Munroe's message.
It is.
He challenges us to move beyond a limited view of ourselves and embrace our divine inheritance.
We are little gods,
We are.
capable of great things when we align ourselves with God's purpose.
And when we work together
Yes,
for the good of all.
this has been an incredible exploration so far.
It has.
I'm already feeling my perspective shifting.
Good.
We've only just scratched the surface
We have.
of Dr. Munroe's insights.
There's so much more to uncover.
What's next on our agenda?
Well, in the next part, we'll delve deeper into the specific roles of men and women. In fulfilling these 7 purposes,
Right.
Dr. Munroe offers a unique perspective on how our God-given differences can work together
Okay.
harmoniously.
I'm looking forward to that.
Me too. Welcome back to the Merrick's Media Podcast. We're continuing our exploration of Dr. Myles Munroe's Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men.
This book is really resonating with me.
Oh, it's a powerful one.
Last time we were talking about this revolutionary idea
Yes.
that man is a spiritual essence that lives within both males and females.
It's a game changer.
It is. And we unpacked those 7 divine mandates
Right.
that Dr. Munroe outlines.
Powerful stuff.
So now I'm really curious to see how these concepts play out
Okay.
in the roles of men and women
Yeah.
specifically.
Well, I've been thinking a lot about this man within concept.
Me too.
It's really shifted my perspective on gender roles and expectations.
So how does Dr. Munroe
Yeah.
see those roles playing out
Yeah.
in light of this shared spiritual essence?
He emphasizes that both genders share those 7 purposes equally. We're all in this together,
Okay.
working towards those same divine goals.
So we're on the same team.
We are. But he also acknowledges
Yeah.
that our physical differences
Okay.
as males and females lead to certain natural inclinations and strengths.
That makes sense. It's not about denying our differences,
Right.
but understanding how they contribute
Exactly.
to the bigger picture.
That's it.
So how does Dr. Munroe navigate this balance then?
Between shared purpose and unique expressions,
Right.
he uses this brilliant analogy
I love a good analogy.
of 2 houses.
2 houses.
Imagine the spirit man,
Okay.
that divine essence we've been talking about,
Oh, yeah.
as the resident of these houses.
Okay.
The male form is designed as a house of strength,
House of strength.
embodying qualities like power, initiative, and protection.
So the male form is like the sturdy foundation, the framework
It is.
that provides stability and security.
That's a good way to put it.
What about the female form then?
The female form is designed as a house of nurturing,
House of nurturing.
embodying qualities like compassion, creativity,
Okay.
and intuition.
I see. It's like the warm, inviting space where
Yes.
life flourishes, where hearts are mended
Yeah,
and spirits are nourished.
exactly. Like 2 sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
Strength and nurturing.
Both essential
They are.
for a balanced and harmonious existence.
Absolutely.
And both houses are equally important.
Of course. Neither is superior to the other.
No.
They complement and support each other.
Like, think about it.
Yeah.
A house needs both
It does.
a strong foundation
Yes.
and a nurturing interior
Right.
to be a true home.
To be a place where you can truly thrive.
Exactly.
And Dr. Munroe emphasizes that both houses
Yeah.
are essential for fulfilling God's plan.
This moves us away from this whole idea of competition then
It does.
between genders
Yeah.
toward collaboration,
Towards working together.
recognizing the unique strengths and contributions
Yes.
of each form.
And creating something greater
Yeah.
than we could alone.
When men and women embrace their God-given roles,
Yes.
that's when they unlock their full potential.
That's when the magic happens.
As human beings
Yes.
and as partners in fulfilling those divine mandates.
It's a beautiful thing.
This is like we've been handed a new set of blueprints
It is.
for building healthy relationships.
I agree. What happens when we try to blur the lines, though, between these 2 houses?
Yeah.
When we try to force them into roles they weren't designed for?
What happens then?
That's where we run into problems.
Okay.
Dr. Munroe warns against distorting these God-given designs. When we try to fit square pegs into round holes,
Yeah.
we end up with a confusion, frustration,
Okay.
even resentment.
So how do we avoid those pitfalls?
How can we make sure we're
Yeah.
honoring the unique design
Right.
of each house?
How do we do it?
It starts with understanding and appreciating
Okay.
the natural inclinations of each gender. For example, if we expect men to always be emotionally expressive
Yeah.
and nurturing
Yeah.
in the same way that women often are, we might be setting them up for failure.
Because that's not their primary mode of operation.
Exactly. Their strength lies in providing a different kind of support,
Right.
a steadfast presence,
Yeah.
a sense of security and protection.
The rock
Yes, the steady presence.
that people can rely on.
Exactly.
And the same goes for expecting women to always be assertive
Yes.
and take charge.
And the same way that men often do.
Right. We need to honor their intuitive
Yes.
and nurturing nature.
Recognizing the power of their empathy
Yeah.
and emotional intelligence.
So it's not about limiting anyone's potential.
No.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing
Yeah.
that we express our God-given qualities
Okay.
in different ways.
The man can be deeply compassionate
Yes.
and nurturing
Uh-huh.
without having to sacrifice his strength.
Exactly. A woman can be a powerful leader without having to suppress her intuition and empathy.
It's about embracing our true selves,
Yes.
both men and women,
Both.
and allowing our unique strengths to shine through.
When we do that, something magical happens.
Okay. I'm intrigued. What's this magical thing?
Dr. Munroe says that when the House of Strength and the House of Nurturing come together in harmony, they create an environment where God's presence can dwell.
That's like the two halves of a whole coming together.
Completing the circle.
It's like creating this sacred space.
Yes.
Where love flourishes, creativity explodes.
Yeah.
The impossible becomes possible.
That's the power of unity.
It's a powerful image of unity and collaboration.
It really is. It's a testament to God's design.
It is. He created us to complement each other.
Yes.
To complete each other.
To reflect his image in all its fullness.
That's the true power, then.
It is.
Of men and women working together.
Yeah.
Honoring their unique strengths.
And fulfilling their divine purpose.
This conversation has been mind-blowing.
I know, it's good stuff.
It's given me so much to think about.
Me too.
In terms of my own relationships, my role in the world.
That's what it's all about.
So what's next in this journey of discovery?
In our final segment, we'll explore how these principles can be applied practically in our everyday lives.
Right.
We'll look at specific examples of how men and women can live out these divine mandates and create a world that reflects God's love and justice.
I can't wait. Welcome back to the Mirex Media Podcast. We've been on quite a journey, exploring Dr. Myles Munroe's Understanding the Purpose and Power of Men.
Yeah, it's been a deep dive.
We've unpacked the spiritual essence of man, those 7 divine mandates, the beautiful interplay of the House of Strength and the House of Nurturing.
It's a lot to take in.
But now I'm really curious to see how this translates into action.
Me too.
Like, how do we actually live out these principles in our everyday lives?
Well, Dr. Munroe emphasizes that true fulfillment comes from aligning ourselves with God's design. Embracing our roles as males and females, recognizing our unique strengths and contributions, and letting those strengths shine through.
So for men, does this mean stepping more fully into their role as protectors and providers?
You know, it's not about clinging to outdated stereotypes or imposing limitations. It's about tapping into that core essence of strength, stability, security.
So it's not about being the breadwinner or the muscle.
It's
about embodying those qualities.
It is.
In a way that supports and uplifts others.
Being the rock.
Yeah.
The steady presence that people can rely on.
And for women.
Yeah.
Could it mean embracing their nurturing? And intuitive nature?
Absolutely. Creating spaces of warmth.
Compassion, understanding, recognizing the power of empathy. Emotional intelligence.
Using those gifts to heal, inspire, create meaningful connections.
Being the heart, the source of love and emotional support.
That nourishes and sustains those around them.
And both men and women are called to be leaders.
They are.
But they might express this leadership in different ways.
Men might lead through action and initiative, while women might lead through inspiration and empathy.
So it's not about one style being superior to the other?
Not at all. It's about recognizing the value of both approaches.
Like a symphony needs both bold brass instruments and delicate strings.
I like that.
To create a masterpiece.
It highlights the power of collaboration.
Recognizing the unique strengths of each individual.
And allowing those strengths to work together.
Ultimately, it's about serving a greater purpose.
It is.
Working together.
Men and women.
Strength and nurturing.
Action and intuition.
To create a world that reflects God's love and justice.
When men and women embrace their God-given roles and work in harmony, they become a powerful force for transformation.
It's like activating hidden superpower.
It is. The power of unity purpose. Recognizing our interconnectedness.
And this power isn't limited to grand gestures or heroic acts.
It can be expressed in the smallest interactions.
A man offering a helping hand. A woman speaking words of encouragement.
A couple working together to raise a loving family.
These are all expressions of our divine purpose.
That man within shining through.
This conversation has been truly life-changing.
I'm glad to hear that.
It's given me a whole new perspective on what it means to be human.
As we wrap up this Mirex Media podcast, I want to leave our viewers with a question. If we truly grasp this concept of being little gods, how might that change our perspective on everyday life?
Let's make our thoughts, words, and actions count.
Let's go out there and be the change.
Embrace our divine purpose and work together to create a brighter future.
And if you enjoyed this conversation, be sure to like this video, share it with others,
and subscribe to the Mirex Media YouTube channel
for more thought-provoking discussions.
Thanks for joining us.